that was both functional and awe-inspiring. But I hesitated because it was new territory for me, and I had a lot to learn. I decided to go ahead with it. Some people asked me why I was bothering to get involved with building golf courses. I did not need the work or the money. I had plenty of other ventures to work on that I knew could and would not have to take the trouble to learn anything new. But at this time in my life, I have the luxury of working on whatever I want, so I decided to work on golf courses because I loved to golf, and I wanted to create spectacular courses to play on. I did not need to do it, but I wanted to do it. To me, that was a great reason. As it turned out, I had a great time working on golf courses, and it has been very profitable for me as well. It would have never happened if I were not open to new experiences. I had the same experience when I started The Apprentice. I knew nothing at all about television, except that for some reason, shows like Larry King, Bill O'Reilly, and many others always got high ratings when they put me on. A big point. It was completely new terrain for me, but I was willing to give it a try. I immersed myself in it and discovered that I really enjoyed finding interesting ways to make the show more exciting and appealing to viewers. Look what happened. I never expected it at the start, but I ended up being the star of a monster show on TV. The Apprentice went from nothing to a big success, with 41.5 million people watching the finale. The Apprentice was a tremendous hit. Why? Because I took a chance on something brand new. But really, it was not a big risk. I did not risk my entire fortune on it. Some very smart people had told me that if it failed, it would be a tremendous blow to my image. I said, my image is so freaking bad, what the hell difference does it make? I can't emphasize enough how important it is to take chances on something new. Recently, my friend Vince McMahon invited me to take part in a huge WWE WrestleMania event called the Battle of the Billionaires. While I like to watch wrestling, I had never considered actually participating. It was totally out of character for me. But I said, what the hell? Why don't I give it a try? What do I have to lose? So I took a chance and told Vince I would do it. Vince McMahon is an amazing guy, and he puts on an unbelievable show. A record 82,000 people filled the football stadium where the Detroit Lions play to see the Battle of the Billionaires. Vince and I selected wrestlers to represent us in the ring. If my guy lost, Vince would get to shave my head in front of 82,000 screaming fans. If Vince's guy lost, I would get to shave his head. Vince chose a 400-pound Samoan named Umaga. I chose Bobby Lashley, who was 310 pounds of solid muscle. It was a great fight, and the two wrestlers really went at it. When my guy won, I could not wait to pin Vince down and shave his head. In front of all the people in the stadium and the millions watching from home, I got to shave Vince's head. I ran him down and tackled him, and then I punched him a few times in the head. Then a wrestler came, held him down while I shaved off all his hair. Later, when I least expected it, Stone Cold Steve Austin came up and gave me a good whomping just to get even. It was all done in great fun. I had a great time, and Vince broke all records, both television and live attendance. The job that Vince and his crew did was unbelievable. Even the New York Times did a major piece on the fact that it was so successful. I'm glad I took a chance and did something out of the ordinary for me. Fortunately, taking a risk paid off extremely well. The event generated a lot of buzz. It was a blast, and most important, I got to keep my hair. When you're focusing on a career, it's easy to get in a rut and not allow yourself to try new things. After a while, we're so bogged down by routine, we're afraid to try new things. Do not let that happen to you. Be willing to step out of your comfort zone and do things you've never done before. It will give you a new perspective on life that will apply to everything you do. My experience building golf courses and participating in a television show has opened up a new world for me, giving me new challenges and new opportunities to use my intelligence and creativity in different ways. Always remain open to new ideas, information, and opportunities. Do not close your mind to new things, thinking that you know everything you need to know. The world is rapidly changing, and you must keep on top of things if you want to succeed. It's just plain stupid to put on blinders when faced with new discoveries and opportunities. When I started in business, I was successful primarily because I was alert to new ideas and hidden opportunities. Being alert and open is how I found my best deals and made the most money. If I had closed my eyes to what was going on around me, I would have never made it. I would have been finished before I began. Do not make that mistake. Every business has surprises, hidden dangers beneath the surface, and little-known opportunities that can lead to a huge success. I start each day very early in the morning by reading newspapers. I do not read with any particular goal in mind, except to satisfy my thirst for knowledge. I read widely on many topics, not just about business, for the fun of learning interesting new things. It's a terrific way to start the day. When I learn, it makes me feel great, alive, and excited. It makes me want to learn more. As a result, I am never bored, which I think is a big reason for my success. Develop positive stamina. Another thing you can do is to think positively and expect the best. My positive attitude has brought me a lot of luck. In the very beginning of my career, when I was trying to buy the huge abandoned Penn Central rail yard on Manhattan's west side, I was new to the city. I had no money, no employees, and no contacts. The city was in the middle of a financial crisis, but I was optimistic and enthusiastic. Because I was so young, I could not sell the banks on my experience or my accomplishments, so I sold them on my enthusiasm. It's important to think positively. Negative thinking, especially about yourself and about your prospects for success, will kill your focus and destroy any chance you have of being successful. I play golf, and I have noticed that the best golfers are the ones who have the greatest ability to think positively. It's not about how far or how straight you can hit the ball. Golf is not really a physical game. It's a mental game. The best golfers are mentally tough. Golf is designed to test your mental toughness in the most adverse situations. Trees, roughs, sand traps, bunkers, water hazards, and doglegs are there to intimidate you and make you lose your mental concentration. So learn how to manage your mind. Do not let a situation lure you into thinking negatively. Sometimes you will fail, but you will learn for the next time. Every time a negative thought comes at you, zap it. Replace it with a positive thought. That takes energy, but the result will be stamina, positive stamina, a necessary ingredient for success. Don't give in to anger. Many people think I am an angry guy, but it's not true. I am tough and I am demanding, but I never lose it. Sure, you have to be tough, but out-of-control anger is not toughness. It's weakness. It destroys your focus on goals and ruins your concentration. When I feel angry, instead of letting it out, I channel that energy into activities. I work harder, concentrate more, or bolster my will and my resolve in overcoming a difficult problem, instead of just losing my temper. Sometimes I use anger in a controlled way to make a point when I'm negotiating, but in those situations, I am using anger for an effect to further my goals. Using anger constructively is another form of mental toughness that you need to succeed. If you are tempted to blow off steam, you should put that steam into getting the things you want. Positive thinking is not merely wishful thinking. It is all about incorporating a sense of optimism into everything you do, while also acknowledging the negative. Former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill had this kind of optimism, even though he faced a major challenge to England's very survival. President Ronald Reagan, too, was a sunny optimist in the midst of a frightening Cold War, when the world could have been blown to smithereens on a whim. Reagan knew the dangers, yet he stayed positive, and he triumphed and left a great legacy. Learn how to be optimistic even in the face of large and intimidating challenges, and it will revolutionize your life. My inherent optimism led me to do The Apprentice. I did not automatically say no when I was asked to do the show. I had turned down other invitations to do business-based reality shows. But out of optimism, I considered this one. When I heard the idea, I felt optimistic that the show could succeed. It was the first television idea that ever excited me. I knew doing The Apprentice was a risk. Everybody told me that most new TV shows fail, or reality TV is on the way out, or you will lose your credibility. But I thought about it carefully and weighed all the risks by asking what-if questions. What if it were a success? What if I enjoyed it? What if it proved to be enlightening? What if it brought the Trump Organization more of the recognition it deserved? What if the job provided to the winner proved to be a valuable stepping stone for a deserving individual? By the end of this thought process, I had a long list of positives to go along with the negatives. So I decided to do it. And it was a great success, and all the positives have come true. If I had only focused on the negatives, I would have never done it, and I would not have enjoyed the rewards, but instead I chose a positive perspective. At a very young age, I read a book, The Power of Positive Thinking, by the great orator and minister Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. There is a popular book out right now called The Secret, which is along the same